All right, man. Welcome to the Billy and Joe Top 10 show. I am Billy. He is.
I'm Joe. Good to see you, bro.
You too, man. Joe Carney is the host of Indies Local Flavor. You can find it on iTunes or just type in Indies Local Flavor. You can probably find it on your favorite podcast platform. Joe, how have you been? And please chat about current events and also the passing of an Indiana high school basketball, Indiana University Hoosier, Indiana Pacer coaching all icon and legends in all of those.
Doing pretty well. The weather locally is getting a spring-like, which is good. I put this on social media when my buddy posted about Bobby Slick Leonard passing away, and I said, if there's no Slick Leonard, there's no Pacers, period. So that's how I feel about him, and I think we both know when Bobby Slick Leonard and the Pacers came to the NBA in 1976, they had to pay $1 million, just like the other 4 or 5 teams from the ABA coming over, and that would have been like $1 billion at least in today's market. So they had to do telethons on the local TV station just to stay afloat. And that was all Bobby and his wife.
Yes. And actually, I talked with Bob Netalicky today about the passing of Slick. And he has a book. It's called We Changed the Game. You can find it at wechangedthegame.com, wechangedthegame.com. You could also find it at droppingdimes.org. No, and you just think, Branch McCracken won his first NCAA tournament in 1940, and the game of basketball really changed in those next 13 years. So Bobby Slick Leonard was a big part of the second national championship, that the banner that the Indiana Hoosiers have hanging up. So, from not a bad word that I have ever heard about the guy, and may he rest in peace and be coaching or be hollering boom baby or color commentating wherever he is.
I think recently he met Raja Brown's family, came to visit him in the last couple of weeks. So he was really excited to see them.
Man, 88 years on the face of the earth. And to me, in everything that I've followed, he probably doubled that within the 88 years.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Great guy. And he's definitely going to be missed.
Yes. Any other news or anything else that you would like to discuss before? It looks like we're going to talk about Indiana Pacers the way you're all decked out today.
Did you hear about the news about, Julian Edelman of the Patriots retired. And then now there's a rumor he's going to. And now there's a rumor that he may go to the Bucks.
Imagine that.
So, and did you hear the story about Tom Brady?
I heard a rumor about Bananarama.
No, it's a sign of the apocalypse. A limited edition Tom Brady football card sold for $2.5 million.
Man,
2 weeks ago.
The Spanish word of the day is idioto. Pendejo if it was a guy, pendeja if it was a girl. And that's my Spanish lesson for today. Adios, amigos.
So that it's kind of a slow sports day, to say the least.
It looks like you guys are gonna be coming from Houston, Texas, talking to Joe Carney, the host of Indies Local Flavor. Find it on iTunes. You guys did one hell of a job for the NCAA tournament. I'll tell you that, the state of Indiana and Indianapolis itself.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the city, how that came together. And it was all done safe, and nobody got sick, had to get quarantined or whatever. So, and then the kind of ironic thing is the governor said everybody can remove their mask as of April 6th. And then the mayor said, not in Marion County, you can't. So I'm like, okay.
As John Pinette would say, may he rest in peace. Nay, nay. You go home now. You no more eat a buffet.
Right.
Hey, just to, before we get started, and as everybody can see, like I said, Joe's decked out. It's going to be Pacer related, but I would like to show this. This is a mini replica court sent to me by
Yes.
Patrick Fillingham Chase. If I'm not mistaken, they sell these at the Hoosier Gym, which you can go to HoosierGym.com. You can see Patrick signed it for me. But of course, Coach Norman Dale and the your Hickory Huskers. So that was kind of neat. I don't know how much they cost. It was sent to me in the mail. Patrick lives up in Sulphur Springs, but I'll inbox them and find out information and put it down below in the description of the show. Also, too, Joe, I've never done this, but a couple things that I'm reading, of course, besides We Changed the Game. I'm at HiltonPublishing.com and also droppingdimes.org. I also am revisiting something that I haven't read in for about 15, 16 years, and that's A Rocket at Heart by Rudy Tomjanovich.
Nice. It's a great guy.
And also a couple of other books. Branch, which is actually my wife's name, believe it or not, by Bill Murphy. This is a fabulous, fabulous book. So, and if you are a baseball person, people, I have Headed Home. When you started it out, Glenn Wilson is a butthole. When you're in the middle of the book, he was a Philadelphia Philly, a Detroit Tiger, a Houston Astro. He was on the Major League Baseball All-Star team. I think it was 1985. But at the end of the book, he turns out and turns his heart, mind, body, and soul to Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. Headed Home by Glenn Wilson and Daryl Hawk is a pretty good short read. So I apologize for my recommendations, but I've been kind of busy with that. And when I get a little bit of downtime with both you and I having diabetes type 2, it gets kind of rough and you want something to kind of console you. And those were my recommendations of the week. What do you got on there, bro, man? Is that a fitted Pacer hat? Did you got a big noggin like me? You got a 7.5. You have to go with the easy fit, the stretch, one size fits all. And I haven't seen the jersey, but just give me a little bit of a peek of the number. Just a little bit of peek. Just a little bit of peek.
You won't like it.
Huh.
This is when before he broke his leg.
Oh, okay. And before we get started, I would like to show off my Georgia Tech number 21. It's in the background. Roger Kaiser, Georgia Tech's first All-American from Dale, Indiana. He sent me this because, I've gone from 232 to 149 because of neuropathy. And but I feel good. I feel better. I've got some good drugs going on. not really, but the doctor is kind of helping me. So with that being said, Joe has come up with today's top 10. Wait a minute. Just in. What's top 11?
Always.
Indiana Pacers. Am I correct?
Yes. This hat is not fitted. It's got a clamp in the back. I wish I could find a fitted one like this, but I had to go with the old throwback logo. So the old ABA logo. My top 11 Pacers of all time. They should have held on to him a little longer, I think. Detlef Schrempf.
Oh, man. I think I had that on some angel hair pasta last night.
I'll bet.
Oh, no, I didn't, because I would have been dead. I thought you said some deadly shrimp. What did you say? No, now we are including both ABA and NBA.
Right.
And I'm a little bit older than Joe, so this is going to be an interesting show. I didn't mean to rhyme that time. But also, please, before we get any further into this, because boy, it's going to get nasty, go to the Billy and Joe Top 10 Show on Facebook and follow, like, subscribe, whatever. And also the YouTube channel, the Keeping the Nostalgia Live Show, and subscribe to all of our shows also. So I had a really, really, really rough time of doing a top 10 or top 11 Pacers.
Okay.
Because I think there's some really true NBA Pacer fans at heart,
Mhm.
and there are really some true Pacer fans that have been with the organization since its, 1967, I think was
Right.
their inaugural year.
Right.
So I'm going to have a couple ties in here, but
Okay.
um, um, number 11 would be a cross between Don Boozy, who went to the University of Evansville and then played for the
Sure.
Indiana Pacers, and
Sure.
really Indiana Pacers' first true point guard when they got in the league,
Right.
and slash Vern Fleming.
I love Vern Fleming. I love both those picks. I love both those guys. They're amazing.
You can, not the best, but they come in at number 11 on my list of the Indiana Pacers, ABA, NBA, or your all-time squad that I would have. I mean, I did this would I think both of these that we're going to go through would be a nice squad to have that would do well in an NBA playoff run.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. My number 10. I actually he's the reason why I'm a Pacers fan. And he has a really good tennis game that I found out recently. Billy Knight. He was
Way
also
too
with the
low,
Buffalo
Joe.
Brave.
Way
What's
too
that?
low, Joe. Way too low, Joe.
Way too low. Okay.
Yeah, I like. Do you like that? Way too low, Joe. Way too low, Joe. Way too low, Joe. Yes, I have heard that about his tennis game. Love the hat, by the way. And if I'm not mistaken, there's some history with that's the original logo.
Yep.
And they never are one of the few teams that I think it was in an ABA for all 9 years that never changed their logo.
Right.
Kept it the same. Billy Knight, super guy. If he had had a little bit more personality, a lot of people would still have him on his list, but he was a silent killer.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Great. I got his basketball card. I can't remember the year, and how they have special things for when they were an all-star.
Yeah.
Ah, man, those were pretty cool. I think possibly you're going to show me one. No,
Yeah.
you're not. Okay, I thought you reached.
Well, I do have this.
Yes, yes, but but very nice guy, down to earth, not an attitude, not thinking he was the dude when he was the dude, and
Oh yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about all the personalities that you have in the game today. So,
Yeah.
but that's very cool. Good pick. I have him as ranked as my number 3 best Indiana Pacer.
Wow. Yeah, you are gonna.
I'm gonna anger you.
You're gonna hear it from a couple people.
Okay, so sliding in at number 10, you got to look at his stats. You got to look what he did for the Indiana Pacers. And I am a little bit of bias because he's kind of invited me into the Indiana Pacer family, and that's Bob Netalicky.
Wasn't there a book put out by the Pacers called Reborn?
Yes.
I didn't know about him until I started reading that book. Excellent book. But he was really the first true center for the Pacers, right?
In my opinion, yes, and had a great career. He's done a lot post career too, in trying to help the ABA veterans, and also for them to get their pension compensation that's supposed to be coming to them.
Yeah.
And we're a little bit, me being a little bit older, I was still a little bit younger at the time of the ABA players, and it was a lot of transistor radio in your ear, or reading the newspaper, or have my dad tell me about it, who hated sports. But I have Bob coming in at number 10, a really good guy, and I kind of promoted the book there a little bit at the beginning, and he had a lot of good things too to say about Bobby Leonard.
Yeah, good pick. He's a good guy, not well known, but he's known in Indiana very well for being a great player and a great guy.
The Larry Bird of the Indiana Pacers.
Okay. My number 9 pick is the Dutchman, Rick Smits.
Ooh, Joe, we have both number 9s correct, man. We do not do this very often. Oh, wow, yes. and
Good answer. Good answer.
yes, he was a star already after coming up and coming to America, playing for Marist and being, when Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall were at the St. John's game.
Right.
Did you know that?
No.
Have you seen Coming to America, or am I outdating you?
I've seen both. I saw the remake here recently.
Oh, very nice, very nice. But yeah, no, if you watch the first one again, Marist is playing, I think, another team. I don't think it was St. John's, but they were playing at Madison Square Gardens, and Rick Smith's got a little airtime there. But yes, very nice. Ifs, whats, candies, nuts, whatever they say about that, but a great 7-3, 7-4.
Yeah.
7-3,
I think.
Oh, great pick.
Great guy. And I hear he's a car collector, and he still goes to concerts locally, I guess.
I've heard that also. When I worked at the Finish Line in Lafayette Square, yes, I am still alive. Let me tell you a little bit of story. Let me tell you this a quick story about.
Sure.
So I was working at the Finish Line, and I'm going to name drop here. John Lofton was working for me. I had a lot of athletes. Scotty Hicks, who played at Notre Dame. John Sherman Williams, that played at Indiana State. Tom Lyles, who was the dad of Trey Lyles, who was Indiana Mr. Basketball. I think he's still in the NBA now. Rick Mount. Rick Mount didn't work for me, but met him working at Lafayette Square. But Rick Smits would walk the mall, and his wife was, number one, you could tell it's Rick Smits because you looked at his wife first, and then you looked at both. But let me tell you the story at the Finish Line. I think we were selling Jordans, and I think it was 90 or 91. And this kid runs out of the store with the Jordans on, and John follows after him. And John with the principal. So
he lifted him.
He lifted him. Yes. Yeah. So we've talked to employees about not chasing. You just have to be better at giving the product to the customer. Blah blah blah. So he's running down Lafayette Square in the back where Monkey Ward's used to be.
Right,
and it was really big and hollow, so anything that's said is kind of echoed. So John's yelling at him, he's got the shoes, and I'm out there looking at the side watching what's going on. He's got the shoes, and all of a sudden I hear John, he's got a gun. So I say, let him have the shoes. So that was my Lafayette Square and funny story in retail. I apologize for taking the mic there, and all because of Rick Smith's coming in at number 9 for both of us.
I have a guy that didn't make my list, but he gets forgotten, and super nice guy. I met him at the Castleton Mall, same kind of thing, and it was the last year he was playing, and it was Jeff Foster. Super cool guy, great player, but he doesn't get a lot of props, but good pacer overall, played a really long time, but didn't really go over the hump to do the all-time list.
Well, he had what was his nickname? Do you have a nickname?
I don't remember.
You can't recall. Okay. I'll put it down in the comments. I was looking at all of his information, before we got on today, and there's a lot of quiet players.
Yeah.
That you're like, man, they, you have, just like in Hoosiers, you have all 5 people who come together as a team.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of things about him, and I read about him today, but I did not include him in my list. Actually, number 8 is one that played mostly in the ABA for the Indiana Pacers, and that's Freddie Lewis.
Love Freddie Lewis. I didn't see him play much, but the documentaries that I've seen is outstanding. My number 8, I couldn't believe they dealt him. My heart hurt when they dealt him. My number 8 was Antonio Davis. And they dealt him for Bender, who was supposed to be the future of the Pacers. Not so much. So, yeah.
And that was number 7, right?
That was number 8.
Number 8. Okay. Am I off a number? I must be off. Oh no, because Rick Smits, both of us, Rick Smits was number 9. Um, and I said mine was Freddie Lewis. My number 8 was Freddie Lewis, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yes, and I think that was kind of down the downslide.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, I agree with that. Because they got rid of Mark Jackson first, and then Antonio, and then Antonio followed. I don't know. I guess they couldn't pay the salaries or whatever after the 2000 run, and it was rebuilt from there, I guess. So,
all right. Well, my number 7. We're on track here, right?
Yes.
My number 7 is Downtown. Well, it wasn't, but Roger Brown. I was thinking of, I was given a nickname from someone else, but Roger Brown. And there's a documentary on YouTube, a great thing on Roger Brown, and
yes,
and I don't think it was Roger Brown. I don't think we'd have banners hanging in Conseco or Market Square, or wherever the Pacers. You understand what I'm saying? There are banners there because of Roger Brown.
And wasn't he involved in a gambling scandal?
And I think that's why. And I think I may not be talking intelligently on this, but I think he was found not to be a part of it.
Right.
But there's there's perception and there's reality, and that really stinks about today's media. By the way, is that today's media can make you guilty when you're innocent, or make you innocent when you're guilty, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, I understand that argument, but yeah, if he would have had a regular career, I think he had a chance to try out for the Olympics, and because he was involved in that scandal, he took a very hard right turn on his career, but luckily he was able to turn it around.
Yeah, but great. Look it up. It may even be on a streaming service, but just Google Roger Brown, and I think you're gonna find some good stuff and have a different attitude, or maybe even put him in your top 11 list, like Joe, or at least I have in our show today.
Right. Yeah, amazing player. And the ABA Pacers without him, I can't imagine the ABA Pacers without him. So, yeah, amazing player. My number 7 was the gentleman who helped the Pacers turn the corner in the NBA, and everybody was kind of surprised when he came here. Byron Scott.
What a great jumper from the corner. And I think you're number 4. He wore number 4.
What's that? Yes.
I think he wore number 4, and just a great smooth jumper. And you're right.
Yep.
You're right. If maybe we would have had him a year before, it would have been something besides a spark. It would have been maybe even a fire.
Without a doubt. I mean, I loved him with the Lakers, and when he came here and played with Reggie and all the guys, it was amazing.
Well, I didn't like him as a Laker, but I liked him as a Pacer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely. There are players that I want to have nothing to do with. Like, if Reggie Miller would have been on any other team in the NBA, I would have despised the flopper.
Yeah, I get it.
But he was on the Pacers. Yeah, I had to put up with it.
Right.
And here come the comments.
Right.
Okay, so am I going number 6?
Yes, sir.
People are going to disagree with this, but I have Clark Kellogg. Without injuries, would probably be up there with Reggie Miller in the statistics, but he had the injuries. There's ifs and nuts and candies and buts. I know that. But he would come to Broderpool High School. I got to get Broderpool in every time that I can. Speak to the basketball teams and the kids, and a really good guy, and does an outstanding, fantastic job with the NCAA. And that's where I have him. People are going to disagree, but there's positives to Clark Kellogg that the Pacers were inching But then,
Yeah.
injuries will do that to a person, and you just don't know what could have been.
I have absolutely no problem with that pick because his career got cut short. And by the way, when I was at Ball State, when I was 19 years old, he was the first person I ever interviewed, and he was super cool. And we were talking about basketball, his career, NCAA. I believe he was there for Youth for Christ, what he was speaking for. But yeah, and then after I did the interview and it turned out well, my confidence jumped 3 sizes that day. Super cool guy, great pick.
Yeah, you've got to. There's just a lot of players that just don't have. Who were we talking about? We were talking about whoever we were talking about. That don't have that attitude or haven't. Oh, Billy Knight, that haven't really rocked the boat, and
Yeah.
you appreciate them a little bit more, but silent.
Yes.
And he was just Clark Kellogg was just, and it still does a super job today with the with CBS.
Right.
That's a pretty cool story though. So
yeah, thank you. My number 6 started out with the Kentucky Colonels. I always love dropping those ABA names because you just don't hear them anymore. But it ended up being maybe the number 1 rebounder in the ABA, Mel Daniels. He ended up coaching as well with the Pacers later.
Yes, Mel Daniels, if you watch video and you read about what other people talk about him, it was an absolute beast.
Yes.
I have him higher than that. I have him at number 4.
Okay.
But just, and also was an assistant coach for the Indiana State squad that went 33-0 before getting beat by Michigan State and Irvin Magic Johnson. LA Laker on the show. Me. And have heard nothing.
Fair enough, biased.
But a great guy from what I understand. Left a little too early, and yes, beast. Mel Daniels. Man, I know you guys would think I'm weird, but the more I even listen to him as a broadcaster, I really enjoyed and wish we would have got him earlier. Mark Jackson is number 5.
Look, who did he tick off that he can't coach again? Come on.
It's like he's blacklisted.
Yes, blackballed.
And I don't know, he doesn't. I'm kudos for the broadcasting people having him because he's a fantastic. I know he's done that to somebody. I don't know if he needs to get out of California or what he needs to do, but man, what and there was we've had ears to the ground that we thought he'd be with the Pacers.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd welcome him back with open arms. So I don't know. You bring up a good point, Joe. I don't know who he ticked off.
Yeah, it's because he was a great player, great coach with the Warriors. And went back to broadcasting. Now he can't find a job with 3 agents. So I don't get it. But yeah. Great, good pick. My number 5. I'm pretty sure he was a boiler and came here and lit it up in the ABA, Billy Keller.
Oh man, I forgot about Billy. It's not very often on the show I get to say Billy just at the beginning. Wait a minute. I guess they mention my name all the time. The Billy and Joe Top 10 show on Facebook. The Billy and Joe. I'm Billy. He's Joe. Billy and even better person.
I've never met him.
Yeah, even a better person. I've got to interview him. It's on my audio podcast, Keeping the Nostalgia Alive.podbean.com. And you can hear that interview, but really, really nice guy. A lot of times when I try to get a hold of these guys, I'll call and there's only been, I think, one person that's answered right off the bat. Most people will hear the message and then call me back. And Billy had a story of saying that, he currently does not live in Indiana. He has a home in Florida also. and said that someone called him from Indiana saying that they were going to come and arrest him because he didn't show up for jury duty. So he knew that was a scam, and so he wanted to hear who I was,
Sure.
who gave me his number before he was going to call me back. But a very good guy.
Yeah.
I also remember at a halftime fundraiser or event that he was milking a cow. They brought
nice.
cow in.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure. Of course. It's the ABA, of course.
Yes.
I finally saw the movie Semi-Pro. I don't know what you think about that. It's funny, but it's kind of an insult to me, but it's funny.
I'd love to redo it with the premise, but get some of it right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I probably wouldn't put the song in there, Love Me Sexy.
It's funny though, but yes.
It is funny though. I can't blame Will Ferrell, man, because I do the same. I would do the same. That would be fantastic to redo that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, sorry about that. Hit something.
That's all right.
What you call it?
That's all right.
Okay, so are we to my number 4?
Correct.
Mel Daniels.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah.
My number 4 we've discussed earlier is Roger Brown, and we talked about that. His family got to meet Slick recently, and there was a picture of that on social media, so that was really nice. Meeting on the way I understand it. So, and I think it was his wife and 2 daughters, I guess. So
yeah, to go back to what you reiterate, I'm going to reiterate what you said earlier today. Without Bobby Slick Leonard, there'd be no Pacers.
Yes.
So that's
hands down.
Yeah. And man, it's just. I also got to interview Slick or Coach Leonard, Bobby Leonard, whatever you want to call him, and to be able to get in as much as he got in life in 88 years is just amazing. And I appreciate him being on the program, which you can also find with the Billy Keller at keepingthenostalgiaalive.podbean.com. But I saw that Roger Brown family stuff on social media also, and 90% of social media is fantastic, and the other 10%, we could do without. But it is appreciated for those times where it's heartfelt and memories and love are involved.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I have at number 3, Billy Knight.
Good choice.
The silent killer. I know you have him a little bit lower than that, and I know people are going, man, number 3, Billy Knight. He's got 2 other picks. What's going on?
Well, back in that time, and it's the same with football, the real professionals didn't have to talk. They just shut you down, and they would shut you down and you would shut up. So, I mean, they would just drain the shots and do their job, nothing fancy, or they'd catch the touchdown and flip to the ref and be done. So unlike today where it's, got to pull a Sharpie out of the end zone and sign the ball, Man,
that was quick on that one, man. I don't know if you had that one written down. That was awesome. and Billy Knight was such a, he was so quick and so smooth and hit your shot, go back down on defense.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to go off here a little bit. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know how, a Bobby Knight coach team, Gene Katie coach team in the Final Four, like Gonzaga. Gonzaga did such a great job.
Right.
They'll be known that they were perfect until the last game, but you don't flex your muscles after, and that was Timmy or whatever, Tiny Tim or Tinny or whatever his name was for, I don't play basketball. I just commentate on it, but I know things that you don't do. And that's what some of these people that we're talking about on this Indiana Pacers top 11 of all time list is. And that's what Billy Knight was. You have to really dig deep to find out what kind of person Billy Knight was.
Right. Right. Yeah, you didn't have to broadcast it
No.
on every Sorry about that.
Oh, that's cool though. That's Indy's local flavor right there. Joe Carney is with us. There you go. Man, I thought you did a jersey change, bro. That would have been cool, man. That was pretty neat though. You had your logo up there and anything. I'm glad, man. Well, at least I'm glad you don't have naked pictures on your phone.
No Pacemates dancing in my.
Hey, yeah, there you go. No. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. 1,000 apologies.
That's all.
1,000 pardons, man. Okay. My number 3. Did you see the recent post from this gentleman? The quote from this gentleman was, "If Michael Jordan called me to play for his team, I would tell him to forget you, Reggie Miller." Except it wasn't the nice version.
I don't understand the context of that. That he wouldn't want to play with Jordan, or he thought he was better than Jordan, or he thought he could build a team around himself, or what? I mean, what am I missing?
He's talking about the super teams like the Brooklyn Nets.
So he's saying no, that he wouldn't do it.
Correct.
That may be why he's all right. See, it's an aggravating conversation with me and Pacer fans, because that just, I mean, if you see what everybody who had a chance to play with Jordan has,
right? That's
rings
true.
on their finger.
Team
concept. Taking that knowledge and that experience to Curry, Golden State Warriors, you know. So that's why I have Reggie Miller at number 2.
Oh, okay.
Reggie Miller's my number 2. He leads in most statistical categories. I do think there are a couple of things that he did that cost us the possibility of winning an NBA championship. You don't aggravate Michael Jordan, and evidently you don't move up there to be a teammate with Michael Jordan.
That's funny.
It's still so depressing that a professional basketball team in the state of Indiana has not won a National Basketball Association championship. It's just a world championship. It just.
Well, now hold on. There's I'm going to forget this guy's name. There's a NBA African-American expert that made the argument, and this guy's big time commentator. I'm on ESPN, and I'm forgetting his name, but he says Julius Erving should have the argument for 3 rings, two of which are with one's with Virginia Squires, the other one's with the Nets, and then also the Philadelphia 76ers, because that would put him in a. He says he deserves to be in that conversation, and I agree with him.
Well, my argument always is also that there are at least Indiana has 3 banners, and thankful for those ABA players that, played for the Indiana Pacers, and you have those banners hanging up. And I always argue with people here in Houston that they say, well, we have 2 banners hanging up. I say, well, because Michael Jordan retired. and then they say, how many banners do you have? I said, well, we have 3. Oh no, I said, blah 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 blah. Oh, those are ABA championships. I said, whatever the NBA. Can you tell me the NBA champion won those years? All right, thank you. And then if the Indiana Pacers played those NBA champions, I think Pacers would have beat them. But I digress. But Reggie Miller is my number 2.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And he also talked about, I can't believe I'm forgetting this guy's name, because I should have wrote it down. he talked about on head-to-head matchups, the ABA won convincingly against the NBA. So anyway,
I have heard that, and Red Auerbach hated the ABA. Red Auerbach hated Bobby Leonard, and you know why? You know why we end up hating is because we're jealous.
Right, sure.
Jealousy is an ugly thing when it rears its head, and the ABA was doing something. You know, without the ABA, the NBA would have stopped because there's just there's so much that was taken away from the ABA game.
Yes, exactly. My number 2 pick. If they would have had Portland against them that year, they would have had a title. However, they had Shaq and Kobe and Big Shot Bob. Dale Davis is my number 2.
Yes. And Dale, you're like, God, you're so slow. And then you're like, God, great shot. That, my friends, was a fix. Because Portland was beating the Lakers handedly.
Right.
And I promise you, someone looked at the statistics and said Portland's the 45th biggest media market in the United States.
Right.
Indianapolis is 12th. Good Lord have mercy, we ain't gonna make no money during these finals.
Portland, Indiana, yeah.
Exactly. So that's my opinion. It's probably hatred. It's probably caused by jealousy. It's probably caused by I'm so aggravated that in the state of Indiana we don't have a world championship in the National Basketball Association. But that's my opinion on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. But and they just didn't match up with the Lakers that year. But I was hoping they would pull it out, but it's futile.
Yeah, there's been so much. Same way with the Indiana University Hoosiers, same way with the Purdue Boilermakers.
Yeah.
And when you have to rely, and no disrespect, on the Fever to win for you.
Which is okay.
Which is cool. And it's
team.
Great, but it's just not that it makes you not want to watch the playoffs or basketball when your favorite team gets close to it because you're going to get heartbroken. Thank God the Colts won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because the Colts lost yesterday. Well, I really enjoyed watching the Colts win their Super Bowl. I'm cool with that. I wish I could do that again with Indiana University. I did it when we were in college in '87. But I wish I could do that again. I wish I could do that for Purdue so they can get that banner hanging up. And also they still have a championship from '32. People just don't agree with that with John Wooden. But I've gotten off my I've gotten off on a tangent here. Sorry.
That's okay. That's quite all right. So you're number 1.
All right. So my number 1, a Indiana Pacer of all time, is Big Mac George McGinnis.
We tied.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. 1 and I think 9. We did that today. That is Big Mac. Nothing but a beast. Nothing but a nice guy.
Yeah.
Probably could have been the first guy that could have played football and professional basketball. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Such a great guy. And, I think let me see if I have a photo here I think I do. Here we go. Let me see if I can share this here real quick. Let me go to screen share and let me go with right here. What we got there. Okay. So you see there, that's Robin Miller.
Oh, wow.
That is Big Mac. And it's so sad to see. I mean, I don't know if my cursor is going around this.
No? Yeah, it is. Yes,
okay.
I can see it.
So sad to see him with a cane. That's Bob Netalicky. And that's Slick, Coach Bobby Leonard.
Wow.
And Big Mac
Great,
right there.
great picture.
Yeah, Big Mac right there. That is just awesome, and our
Great
number
picture.
one. I was very sad to see that he went to the 76ers.
Okay,
I was very sad that we got him on the downside of his career.
that's very true. Very true.
I'm very sad that he didn't go to Philadelphia and then come to Indiana and keep it Indiana until he left.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, and from me, happy belated birthday to Pete Rose, who turned 80 yesterday.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Gosh, did you know? I used to look at the back of baseball cards, and if they were around my dad's birth year,
Yeah,
I don't know why I always kept that in my memory, but 80 years old, man, you know.
yeah.
So, but once again, rest in peace, Slick Bobby Leonard. You were a champion for professional basketball here in the state of Indiana.
Yes.
What are we gonna do next week, Joe?
Um. Hmm. Well, we were thinking about doing boxing, so if you're okay with
Oh
that.
yes. I do have my top 10. Ooh, another aggravating list.
You mind if I talk about a couple things I watched this last week?
No, go right ahead.
Um, I've been reading some more and watching some things on streaming media. Um, I usually take the kids sometimes to the local bookstore, and I usually look at the graphic novels section, and I saw this book, and I'm like, I got to buy it. It's a comic book graphic novel version of Slaughterhouse-Five by Kirk Vonnegut, and if you're into that format is perfect for that story. It's an anti-war book, but it's fascinating. I finished it in like 2 days, and then you have Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
I'm watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this last episode 4. I can give it away a little bit. The Falcon inherited Captain America's shield when he walked away, and then America decided to have a Captain America fill-in. So it's kind of the story of there's this terrorist organization that's popped up in Europe. So the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are trying to see what's going on there with this new Captain America. And the last episode, I was screaming at the television. It was awesome.
And Vonnegut Shortridge?
I think so.
I know he's from Indiana. I know.
Yes. Yeah.
People will say, "Ask me more questions about it." I'll end it there because I don't know a lot more about that. But that's very cool.
Yeah, really good book. Really good book.
Something else on Disney Plus that we watched, and I'm not really into golf movies, is The Greatest Game Ever Played.
Okay.
You may want to check that out. The Greatest Game Ever Played. I know it's with Shia LaBeouf.
Yes. Yeah.
But is a true
Transformers.
Yeah, it's a true story about an amateur guy who wins the amateur U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But it's very cool, very good story. I hadn't, I love true stories when they're pretty
Right.
spot on. But The Greatest Game Ever Played is the name of it on Disney Plus, and we were not given any cash by them.
I wish.
All right, please go to the Billy and Joe Top 10 Show on Facebook. Subscribe to us on Keeping the Nostalgia Alive show. And Joe, what do you have coming up on Indy's Local Flavor? And give everybody a little bit of an idea of what your show and you are all about when it comes to podcasting.
Next week we're going to go over the NFL off season. We've got that coming up. We're going to talk about also what teachers or parents influenced us and how. We're going to come up with a list for that. And basically, probably talk about censorship again. That's a really hot topic heating up here lately, and why people need to know what their rights are and stand up for them. So.
And that's Indy's Local Flavor. Just type it in your search bar there. It'll come up on iTunes. And Joe has some really good programming and some really good shows. Like I said, Billy and Joe Top 10 show on Facebook. Keeping the Nostalgia Alive show on YouTube. I should have made this all smaller. I tried to with KTNA with Keeping the Nostalgia Alive, but then you won't let everybody know the name of your program. And also audio versions on keepingthenostalgiaalive.podbean.com. Joe Carney, thank you for joining us. It's the Billy and Joe Top 10 show. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for having me.